Welcome to the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. E-Content Developer is Professor Basavaraj VK, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government Engineering College, Raichur. So we are in the fifth module, that is sheet metal operations in metal cutting and forming, 18 ME 35. We completed 4 sessions. This is the 5th session. So after completion of the 5th session, the students will be able to understand the various sheet metal processes, identify the bending sheet metal operation, and knowledge about the bending and bending dies. The contents to be covered in this section will be introduction to bending, types of bending dies, MCQs, and assessment on VTU question papers. So we'll have introduction to bending. So before going with this, in the earlier class, that is in first session, we have seen sheet metal operations are basically classified into 2 types. One is cutting or shearing operation and the second is bending operation. In cutting or shearing operation, we came to know that initially the plastic deformation takes place, then the fracture, then the shearing or cutting. Examples of cutting or shearing, we came to know about the punching, blanking, lancing, slitting and all, isn't it? So the second type we came to know about the forming operations. So in forming operation, as like earlier, the cutting or shearing is not taking place, whereas in forming operation the plastic deformation is taking place and then the required shape and size we are going to get. So bending is an example of the forming operation. So in bending manufacturing type, it produces a V shape, U shape or channel shape along the straight axis in ductile materials, most commonly sheet metals. So here commonly used equipments include box and pan brakes, brake press and other specialized machine presses. Typical products that are made like this are boxes such as electrical enclosures and rectangular duct. So in press brake forming, a workpiece is positioned over the die block and the die block presses the sheet to form a shape. So usually bending has to overcome both tensile stresses and compressive stresses. So if we observe a bend shape, so you can see that the upper layer of the bend is subjected to tensile stress and the inner layer is subjected to the compressive stress. In between there is a layer, that is in between bending and that is tensile and compressive stress, there is a center layer that we are going to call it as the neutral axis. So when bending is done, the residual stresses cause the material to spring back towards its original position. So the sheet must be overbent to achieve the proper bend angle. So when the deformation is taking place, this deformation is the sum of elastic deformation and plastic deformation. So when the pressure or force is taken back, this permanent deformation is going to be as it is. But what about the elastic deformation? So it comes back. It will try to come back to its original shape and size. To overcome this problem, the overbending action has to take place to achieve the proper bend angle. The amount of spring back, it depends on the type of material and the type of forming process. That is, if the material is more and more ductile, so the elastic material property is more over there. So in bending, when sheet metal is bent, it stretches its length. The bend deduction is the amount the sheet metal will stretch when bent as measured from the height. The U punch forms a U shape with a single punch here. You can see that this is the punch, this is the die, this is the shape. We are going to, the baggage is a support, work is placed over there. So the punch moves in the downward direction, this bending is taking place over here. So bending on press brake. There are three basic types of bending on a press brake. Each is defined by the relationship of the end tool position to the thickness of the material. These three are air bending, bottoming and coining. The configuration of the tools for these three types of bending are almost identical in nature. A die with a long rail from tool with a radii used tip that locates the inside profile of the bend is called as a punch over here. Bending on press brake. Punches are usually attached to the ram of the machine by clamps and moved to produce the bending force. A die with a long rail form tool that has a concave or V-shaped lengthwise channel that locates the outside profile of the form and is called a die. So these dies are usually stationary and located under the workpiece or the sheet on the bed of the machine. The other types of bending are air bending, bottoming, coining, 3-point bending, folding, wiping, rotary bending, angle bending, plate bending, roll forming and all. So in air bending, in this method, it forms a material by pressing a punch, also called the upper or top die, into the material, forcing it into a bottom V die, which is mounted on the press. The punch forms the bend so that the distance between the punch and the side wall of the V is greater than the material thickness. Either a V-shaped or square opening may be used in the bottom die. Dies are usually referred to as tools or tooling. As it requires less bend force, air bending tends to use smaller tools than other methods. Some of the newer bottom tools are adjustable, so by using a single set of top and bottom tools and varying press stroke depth, different profiles and products can be produced with the same setup. Different materials and thickness can be bent in varying bend angles, adding the advantage of flexibility to air bending. So there are also fewer tool changes which increases the higher productivity. But the limitations of this will be air bending is that because the sheet does not stay in full contact with the dies, it's not as precise as some other methods and stroke depth must be kept very accurate. Variations in the thickness of the material and wear on the tools can result in defects in the parts produced. Air bending angle accuracy is approximately plus or minus 0.5 degree. Angle accuracy is ensured by applying the value to the width of the V opening ranging from 6 times the thickness for sheets to 3 mm to 12 thickness. Spring back depends on the material properties influencing the resulting bend angle. So in air bending, it does not require the bottom tool to have the same radius as the punch. Bend radius is determined by material elasticity rather than the tool shape. The flexibility and relatively low tonnage required by air bending are helping to make it popular choice. Quality problems associated with this method are countered by angle measuring systems, clamps and crowning systems adjustable along the X and Y axis and wear adjustment sheets. The bending radius must be at least 0.8 thickness to 2 times the thickness for sheet steel. Larger bend radius require about the same force as larger radii in air bending. However, smaller radii require greater force up to 5 times in much in air. So here you can see that the bending must be at least 0.8 to 2 times for sheet metal. So advantages and disadvantages of bottoming we can see here. So it has a greater accuracy and material coming back, spring back is less, but the disadvantage being different tool set is needed for each bend angle, sheet thickness and material. So air bending is most of the times preferred. So we can see the next one is coining. So in coining, the top tool forces the material into the bottom die with 5 to 30 times the force of air bending, causing permanent deformation through the sheet. There is little if any spring back. Coining can produce an inside radius is as low as 0.4 thickness with the 5 thickness width of the V opening. While coining can attain high precision, higher cost mean that it is not often used. So we can see this as an example in coining. Coin what you use in our currency. So that is produced with this method. So 3-point bending. So 3-point bending is a newer process that uses a die with an adjustable height bottom tool moved by a servo motor. The height can be set within 0.01 mm. Adjustments between the ram and the upper tools are made using a hydraulic cushion which accommodates deviations in sheet thickness. 3-point bending can achieve bend angles with 0.25 degree precision. While 3-point bending permits high flexibility and precision, it also entails high cost and there are fewer tools readily available. It's being used mostly in high value markets. So folding. In folding, clamping beams hold the longer side of the sheet. The beam rises and folds the sheet around a bend profile. The bent beam can move the sheet up or down, permitting the fabricating of parts with positive and negative bend angles. The resulting bend angle is influenced by the folding angle of the beam, tool geometry and material properties. Large sheets can be handled in this process, making the operation easily automated. There is little risk of surface damage to the sheet with this method. So in wiping, the longest end of the sheet is clamped, then the tool moves up and down, bending the sheet around the bend profile. Though faster than folding, wiping has a higher risk of producing scratches or otherwise damaging the sheet because the tool is moving over the sheet surface. Totally it is going to cover the sheet. The risk increases if sharp angles are being produced wiping on press brakes. This method will typically bottom or coin the material to set the edge to help overcome the spring back. In this bending method, the radius of the bottom die determines the final bending radius. Next have the rotary bending. In rotary bending, it is similar to wiping, but the top die is made of freely rotating cylinder with the final formed shape cut into it and a matching bottom die. On contact with the sheet, the roll contacts on 2 points and it rotates as the forming process bends the sheet. This bending method is typically considered a non-marking forming process suitable to pre-painted or easily manned surface. This bending process can produce angles greater than 90 degree in a single hit on standard press brakes process. Now we have different types of bending dies. Stamping die is there. So in that punch and die stripper comes. Next comes about the dies, simple dies, compound dies and progressive dies. In presses, hydraulic dies, mechanical dies. So in stamping die, simple thing, we are going to have the stripper is there, punch holder punch. So it presses here and the blank is obtained. So in compound die, it is the combination of two operations. So two or more operations can be performed at one station. Only one cutting operation is carried out, hence these dies are considered as cutting dies. So here the workpiece is pierced and blanked in one station only and with only one operation. The piercing punch is fastened in conventional position to the punch holder. So you can see over here, this is blanking punch and the metal strip is there. So locating pins, piercing punch is also there. You can see. One direction blanking and another is piercing. So simultaneously or at a time they are doing. So in progressive die, so at each station an operation is performed on a workpiece during a press work. So these dies perform two or more operations at different stages every time the RAM descends. The strip is advanced through a series of stations that perform one or more distinct operations on workpiece. The strip must move from first through each successive station to produce a complete workpiece. The distance from one station to the next station must be the same over here. Okay, so these are the two simple types of dies what we have seen, compound die and progressive. So we are going to have the assignment as define bending, explain the different types of bending methods, note on the bending dies, so which includes the different types also. So this is about the reference. Okay, thank you.